Everyone's obsessed with ChatGPT, while almost nobody uses Gemini and NotebookLM to build a real edge. That's a big error. After 2 decades as a CEO and board member helping build billion-dollar companies, one thing is clear to me: the edge is never the tool, it's the system you build. That's why getting a handle on Google's AI tools like Gemini and NotebookLM is so important. In this video, I'll show you how to build a 4-part human intelligence system so effectively it almost feels unfair. So you can pick things up quicker, think more clearly, and gain an edge that puts you ahead of 99% of folks inside the room. Let's jump in. But before we jump into the system, we need to get the framework that separates the top 1% in how they dot. Relying on AI for writing was linked to the weakest brain connectivity and recall in a study by MIT Media Lab. This is real machine fog when it comes to AI. Most people are building on sand without a blueprint, without a foundation, and without floors. Instead, you need a solid intelligence architecture resting on a foundation of 4 floors handling 4 distinct jobs. The ground floor represents your foundation. AI has a risky tendency. It can sound persuasive even when it isn't true. It's like a brilliant lawyer who argues beautifully while fabricating the evidence. This is where Google's NotebookLM is useful because it relies strictly on the material you provide your documents, your notes, your transcripts, your data. NotebookLM doesn't just give you an answer, it gives you the proof. You can upload a 500-page textbook, or the last 6 months of your meeting transcripts, or that whole stack of PDFs sitting on your desktop. It'll take everything, and then you can investigate, ask questions, find patterns instead of fake stupidity. You're now anchored in reality. The next floor is your frontier model, which is Gemini here. This is the point where you shift from evidence to exploration, and Gemini can store a massive amount of data and context too. You can load 2 million tokens into its active memory all at once. That's basically the whole Harry Potter series and the full Lord of the Rings trilogy, with some space remaining. So you can feed it 10 years of your company's financial history and thousands of customer call transcripts. And it will still spot the hidden patterns a human eye would need months to find. It doesn't just find that needle in the haystack, it understands the whole harvesting season. Right now, we're moving to the next floor where your specialist lives. And, diving into AI always makes it feel like you're chatting with a total stranger you just bumped into at the train station. She doesn't know who you are, what you want, or your context, which is why Gemini has gems to fix that. They're your experts who know who they are and who you are. You can build a gem that acts as your finance advisor, writing partner, or health coach. They remember, they're always ready, and the top floor is now all about tools. This is where your execution lives, your workspace. This is where intelligence breaks free from the prompt window and dives right into your real work. Drafting emails, building decks, summarizing meetings, updating documents, and moving things forward. So that wraps up the 4 floors NotebookLM, ground zero in evidence. Gemini helps you explore with clarity and massive context. Gems provide you with that staff or specialist, and the workspace turns insight into tangible work. And just getting a handle on the blueprints for these 4 floors already puts you ahead of everyone else still digging holes in the sand. Now let's build it 1 floor at a time. The biggest learning myth is that mastery comes from consuming more information, more books, more courses, more content. But that's not how our brain learns back in high school and college. I constantly struggled with learning and retention. I wasn't a very good student. The situation shifted once I began to grasp how memory functions. Working memory is super small. Try forcing a 500-page textbook through it, and you try to squeeze an entire mountain through a straw. Real learning takes place when the material makes it into long-term memory. Apps like NotebookLM change how fast and what form that process takes. how the brain moves information into long-term memory using two modes, focus mode and diffused mode. So once you load the material into NotebookLM, focus mode is where you actively investigate it, follow the breadcrumbs, spot the patterns. But the real aha moment hits when you step away from the desk. Your diffused mode NotebookLM enables you to convert your research and reports into interactive podcasts or debates you can tune into while you're walking or commuting, or when you're in the kitchen and you can jump in anytime you want and ask questions to guide the podcast hosts, which are actually AI agents in real time. So you can turn your dead zone into a learning zone. What's the next move? When should you use Notebook LM? Three situations include when you're drowning in material and when you want precision. And being close enough isn't good enough. And when you want the same knowledge to move across formats, audio, video, flashcards, infographics, and Notebook LM let you learn in the format your brain prefers. But once you've got that base, you need an engine strong enough to actually do something with it. So for that, we need to move up to the next floor. Gemini can hold a massive amount of context in one session. PDFs, videos, audio, images, diagrams. Using code and data gives you three real advantages. First, Gemini learns from your past conversations. It begins to grasp your preferences, goals, tone, and how you think. Second, it can read and generate content in many formats like interactive docs, audio charts, images, video, and even music these days. And third, it can dive deep into the research right within the prompt, get the question, map out the plan, browse the web, and check the results, and give back a report with citations. That's a powerful engine, but raw capacity isn't enough if you can't steer it. All that power just gets you lost faster. This is where AIM steps in. I've shared this micro framework before. A stands for actor. Don't just ask Gemini for an answer. Tell the model who it's acting as. So you might call Gemini the world's most in-demand resume editor and business writer. I stands for input. Give it the context it needs. Don't simply say, hey, fix my resume. Feed it your resume, the job description, interview notes, and other resumes. Company research M is for mission. You can be exact about the result you're telling AI a clear mission, like give me 5 specific ways to improve, boost the clarity and impact of my resume so I can improve my chances of landing an interview at NVIDIA for this product. Marketing job. It's time to build a team of specialists for that now. Let's head up to the next floor where your staff is waiting for you. The issue with AI is that it can be super generic. That's why you need a team of specialists. And for that, you create a gem, assign it a role and a tone, a solid objective, plus a knowledge base so it recalls everything, not just within a single chat, but across your whole body of work. If Gemini is your general purpose reasoning engine, these are your specialists that you can set up around your recurring themes, just like a writing coach, a coding partner, a research analyst, a brand consultant, a chief of staff. Some people even build a BFF or a romantic partner as a devil's advocate. Um, I haven't built that, so you're changing the game. Remember, gems aren't folders, since folders organize information. Gems control behavior. It's a much bigger idea. A folder remembers where your files are. A gem remembers who you are and what you care about and how you think. And yes, you can feed any gem, any source material, including the notebooks you built in Notebook LM when you were on at the ground floor. Recall that now, instead of sorting documents, you're curating expertise to assemble a team of expert agents who never begin from scratch, zero, and who never go to sleep. The final issue is fragmentation. Too many tools, too many tabs, and too many disconnected islands of work. You need just one workhorse. Research shows that switching contexts while working can eat up to 40% of your productivity time. We've all felt it when our work is scattered across too many places. We get it done in one spot, save it in another, analyze it in a third, and share it in a fourth. There's nothing that ties everything together. That's why Gemini inside Google Workspace is so incredibly useful. Gemini isn't a genie stuck in a chat window anymore. It's right there in your docs, your Gmail, your Drive, your calendar sheets, and even your meetings. They stop being isolated islands and start acting as one connected environment. And this helps you tackle three major work pressures: friction, focus, and flavor. First, friction. Imagine you're applying for a job and your story is scattered all over your resume, the job description, and old interview notes. You have your contact list, company research, and old recruiter emails, but now you can head to Google Drive and simply ask AI, what are the biggest gaps in my fit? What's next for me? You're no longer confined to a file cabinet. You can now tweak and rebuild your whole story. Second focus: last week, I was late for a virtual meeting. I was on Google Meet and joined 5 minutes late. And right after I got in, Google Meet AI asked if I just wanted to catch up. I clicked yes, and it showed me 3 bullet points of what I'd missed. I didn't have to stop the room or make everyone rewind. I thought it was amazing that everyone stayed focused on the third flavor. This actually matters way more than we realize, since AI can now learn from the files on your drive. It can begin to understand the full history of everything you've created. It can see how you write and how you think. It's not about AI doing the writing for you anymore. It's about AI writing alongside you, so that becomes your human intelligence system. A design you construct with 4 levels housing 4 separate tasks. But here's why all of this actually matters at a deeper level. AI will eliminate some jobs for sure. It will create a ton of new ones and reshape almost all of them. Right now, I don't think AI is swapping us out, since every job has 2 parts: mechanics and meaning. AI might alter the mechanics, but it doesn't automatically change or eliminate the meaning. That's why we're here. So, this human intelligence system we discussed isn't just about building your edge, it's also about building yourself. You can use it to make something real, something beautiful, and something constructive. You didn't have to keep growing to prove you matter, because you were born with your worth. Take it from Maya Angel Au. You alone are enough. If this video helped you, please subscribe. See you next week. Thanks.